And I thought, okay, it might be interesting to make her grow as a teenage girl and explore the emotion that most of teenage girls and boys go through. And I think emotions that teenagers go through are always under depicted in many films, because they think once you grow up, you think emotions that you went through when you were teenagers, it's like a passing period and just mundane, casual emotions, and you kind of look down on it. But I thought, since you kind of don't really respect emotions that you went through when you're younger, you kind of carry unfinished business even when you grow up. So I thought it would be interesting to explore that sort of deeper human emotions when most of people don't really acknowledge it. Yeah.
Zoe, actually, I know that you produced the recordings with Bora, and then you're, of course, the producer and the editor of the film. So what actually attracted you to Bora's stories in the earlier short film and also in this film?
I mean, the same way I was attracted to the recorder exam. I mean, I think I was already drawn to the feature because, I myself wanted to know more about this character Indy, and from the short film, which already felt like it was exploring very deep themes that needed to be a feature film. I think when she was developing it, I definitely wanted to be involved, and I just think Bora has this ability to really delve into such a extraordinary emotional journey of this young character, and which is very universal. It's very specific to a time and a place, but I think it speaks to so many people around the world, and I really admire that ability of her filmmaking.
Exactly. I mean, even though it's set in South Korea in 1994, but I'm sure that the audience here, they would resonate with the themes of longing, of belonging, or loss, maybe. But I'm sure, the audience would have a lot of questions to ask, so I shouldn't be monopolizing the microphone. 如果有任何問題, if you do have any questions, please raise your hand. Our colleague will pass you the microphone. 我哋同事會俾個麥克風你嘅。咁如果有問題請舉手，唔好怕醜。有冇任何問題呢？呢位。
Okay. Thank you. Can you elaborate on the use of the song that was sung by the teacher? The background of it.
Actually, that's a very famous labor song. 민중가요로 뭐라고 해야 되지? Worker song. Yeah. It's a very famous worker song for social movement. It's related to activism, which was really active in early 90s and late 80s. So there was a lot of movement and protests, like what is happening here. If it's different matter, but it was huge. There was huge movement by workers and students. A lot of students who go to good university, they kind of organize big social movements. They were the main organizers. And since Youngji character, she goes to Seoul University in the film, so she was really central figure of the movement, and that's why she had to take some time from her school, because she was focusing on the movement. And the song is quite popular among the protesters, and Korean people know that context, but then universally it's not a popular song, but you kind of feel what the song is about through the lyrics. And I thought the teacher, she's not the person when she sees two girls having this awkward moment, she wouldn't ask any question because you don't really need the details. So to comfort these two girls and have some warm connection, she just decided to sing a song, and I thought that's the best way for character Youngji to deal with that sort of awkward situation. I think that's very hard way of solving problem. Yeah.
You also dropped quite a few hints about Yoonji's political orientation, the background. For example, the books that she has. I actually remember Das Kapital, Karl Marx book, among the collection. So it's basically hints of her political orientation. Isn't it?
Actually, we put English subtitle for her bookshelf, but then for some reason the DCP, this version, didn't have the English subtitle for the bookshelf that she has. So you didn't get the meaning, but like when you see her desk, there are a lot of series of books about like communism and like protest movement and feminism movement and all that. So you can kind of feel what's the context of her movement and where she is. Yeah.
Even though this story is mostly about the girls and Yoon-hee's rite of passage of growing up, the growing up pains, well, there is a lot of social, political, historical background.
Yeah.
For example, the collapse of the Seongsu Bridge. So why did you want to actually maybe set the film in 1994? Is it deliberate to set that the story in this particular point in time in South Korean history?
Yeah, I set this time period of the film as 1994 for many reasons. And first reason was because of the Seongsu Bridge collapse. It really happened in 1994, and a lot of high school girls and people died of the accident. And that accident was actually wake-up call for Korean, because after 1980 Seoul Olympics, we were like so eager to be developed country from underdeveloped country. So we built everything so fast. And then that collapse happened, the bridge collapse happened. And then next year, very famous department store in Gangnam, Sampoong department store also collapsed. So within 2 years, this big monumental architecture collapsed and many people died, and it was very shocking. And I was middle school girl like Eun-hee, and then the collapse and the death of many people were kind of making us to be aware of what it means to be human being. And we really have to be, we kind of realized that, we have to stop and be aware of safety rather than just making everything so fast and like to be a developed country. So it was kind of wake up and transformative call, and kind of made us stop from like that sort of longing and like fast development.
I think it's interesting because, well, sorry for keeping on about the recording exam, the earlier film about of the 8-year-old girl, Yoon-hee, it ended quite optimistically, quite positively, but it also coincides with the birth of the South Korean dream, is it? The 1998 Olympics, and then suddenly in 1994 there's this wake-up call.
Right.
And then the film also for this Yoon-hee, it ends quite ambiguously. I mean, it's not really that hopeful anymore.
Well, for me, the ending is very hopeful. I wouldn't say like it's not like Hollywood ending style hopeful ending, but like, well, going back to the bridge collapse thing. So I thought this film is about Eun-hee's coming of age, but at the same time South Korea's coming of age, and Eun-hee deals with a lot of relationship. But then like it always fails. So she has this collapse within herself. So she's dealing with her collapse among her relationship. And then her that sort of collapse and separation happens in her family and in school and the society, the atmosphere. So that sort of collapse and separation that she feels from society and family and school, that's related to this physical collapse of the bridge. That was my big picture for this film. But I think like Youngji's the teacher Youngji's letter, I think bad thing and good things always happen or at the same time or together. So even if there's like oppression, separation, collapse, human beings are very resilient, and like that I wanted to show that resilience and hope and love and connection through the relationship between Youngji and Eun-hee, because they share such a beautiful connection. And I think we always have that wonder and beauty in life, even when there's like tragic happening. Yeah. So in the end, Eunhee was kind of self-centered. I wouldn't say she was selfish, but like she was very